So a couple years ago, a friend of mine who was a college student came to my house right near the college where he was going to school. He came and said, asked if he could use my van to move some things out of his apartment. So I said, sure. A few hours later, he returned to my driveway, and I could see that my van wasn't empty. In fact, there were pieces of furniture inside and some boxes, and he came to my driveway sheepishly and he said, would you mind if I just store these things in your garage for a couple days until I can get some place to put them? You know, they kind of want to save them for next year. And so I said, oh yeah, a couple days, no problem. Go ahead and stick them in the back of my garage. And I helped him arrange everything. There were 2 couches and some boxes, and we put them all in the back of my garage. 3 months later, 4 months later, it was August, September, those couches are still in my garage. And now my wife was having this garage sale, and I'm kind of getting irritated. I'm moving stuff out into the driveway, and I'm thinking, what's these couches still here for? It's crazy. They've been here for like 4 months, 2 days. I mean, I'm getting all ticked off. So I called this guy on the cell phone and said, look, if you don't want these couches, I'm going to sell them in my garage sale. I'm sick of these couches. They're supposed to be in my garage for 2 days. I'm kind of ranting and raving on my phone. So he calls me back and says, fine, put them in the garage sale. So I put these couches out in my front yard. I put $25 per couch on there, and then goes the garage sale. An hour in, this college student shows up who wants to buy the couches. He loves them. He says, this will fit perfectly in my apartment. And he pays my wife for the couches, and he says, I need to go back and get my roommate to help me carry these to our apartment, and we'll get these out of your yard. It was awesome. He goes back to wake up his roommate. Guess who his roommate was? Yeah, the guy who left the couches in my garage all this time. He wakes him up from a sound sleep, and he says, hey, I found these great couches. And the roommate says, where are they? Well, this, the house with the theater lady. What color are they? Well, they're kind of yellow. And he's like, ah! And he had to come over to my yard, and he actually had to load up his own couches that his roommate paid me money for into my van, into his van, and drive him to his new apartment. I love that. He carried him up the stairs. Now that was like God shining down on me. It was like justice had been served. It was awesome. I loved it. Finally, justice. Justice, that's a kind of a complicated subject, kind of a complicated topic. When you think about it, what exactly is justice anyway? What does it mean to seek justice, to have justice, to be just? What's that all about? Certainly that day, I found out a little bit about what justice really was. So did my friend.